More character design. This is another character I am designing for my Mushroom Witch project. You can see more in the playlist in the description, as well as other fun videos on my channel. Now, onward! First off, we have our mood board showing sketches and inspiration, as well as reference pictures to help me get my ideas rolling. Now, when I first came up with the idea for this character, I was basing her off of the Mycena Haematopus, sorry if I've butchered that name, mushroom, also known as the bleeding fairy mushroom. This specific fungi, when cut, leaks out a type of liquid that looks similar to blood, as if the mushroom itself is bleeding. I found this incredibly interesting, and I really wanted to see how I could interpret that into making the mushroom itself into a character, or at least using elements of that mushroom to portray a character. And considering the fact that it's Bleeding Fairy is its most simplest name, I really wanted to give it a very fairy-like appearance, very elegant or mischievous, as fairies aren't always very nice. They can be quite mean, especially from fairy tales I used to listen to when I was a child, where fairies would come and steal your shoes or your socks, just silly little stuff like that. But I've always found them very fascinating, especially when people seem to really like the fact that they're cute and pretty and can do no wrong. And that's the type of thing I really like. Something looks so sweet and innocent, and then the next thing you know, it's stealing everything you have or obliterating you from the face of the earth. It's a nice concept to go for. However, for my project that I'm using for these characters, there won't be any obliterating, as far as I know so far. However, I do know for a fact, when it comes to the project I am making, as well as the characters within it, that this will not be a fluffy, nice world filled with natures and fairy-like mushrooms, because that's boring. I don't care what anyone else says, it's boring. I want some fun in my project and my work, and so whether it be deceptive characters out for blood or one of those uncanny valley type of deals, I really would prefer that with my character's design and personality wise, compared to just happy fun time. There's nothing wrong with that per se, it just wouldn't really suit what I have planned, which I'm really looking forward to sharing more with you guys as my project progresses, and hopefully I can share more. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the designing. I'm going to shut up now so you can enjoy the wonderful music and speed paint. And maybe this will inspire you to do some character designing or mood boards of your own to get inspired. You never know, it's the new year, it's just started, it's 2020, so we might as well start the year off doing something progressive. That's what I always like to do. Okay, so I know I said I'd be quiet for the rest of the video, however, with this part I really wanted to do some explaining on what really bugged me about the character's design once I finished colouring and coming up with the overall aesthetic of what they would look like. And I just got the feeling that just because they're smaller and very dainty didn't make them very fairy-like, and the fact that there was just blood dripping down from the cap and nothing more was just getting really boring and kind of tedious, especially if you've got too much detail around the head. It can just make it impossible to stay focused, and so that is why I have decided, this is probably why the video is also quite long, to just try and redo the character, but maybe give the character like two forms. So like it's a mushroom fairy, but also I just don't want it to be a tiny creature with wings on its back, because once again it just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm thinking maybe going for more of a type of forest spirit type of appeal, where they grow wings from their arms rather than just having them on their back. I think that would be really cool to mess around with. However, I've also come to the conclusion that their eyes are quite big, and so are the caps on their heads, giving them quite a big eye slash big head appeal, kind of reminding me of those old alien stories I would hear when I was younger about little green or little grey men with big eyes kidnapping people, and that just seems quite interesting, especially for this character design, as I want the character in general to be very mischievous and not the nicest in the world. So combining both aliens, fairies and mushrooms could be quite an interesting experience and design for how this character can go in the future. Anyway, that's just my note. I'll shut up now. Enjoy! that's another video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the creation of this character. I'm really looking forward to experimenting more with her, as she's probably one of my favourite designs so far. If you want to see more of this and more upcoming videos of my Mushroom Witch project, then I will leave a link to the playlist down in the description, and you can follow me on my other social media so you can see more finished illustrations and other stuff I probably won't be able to record. If you're interested in my upcoming project, that's really great. And if this inspires you to do artwork of your own, that's even cooler.